Hi everyone, my name is Pankaj Kumar and today I am going to discuss the topic about compiler. So, what is compiler? Basically, a compiler is a software, computer software that converts the source code into a object code or target code. Right. In other words, we can say that it converts the high-level language into a machine language or binary language, which computer get understand easily. Right. Moreover, it is necessary to perform this step to make the program executable. Right. So what is source code? Source code is the fundamental components of a program which is created by a programmer, and it is easily read and understood by a human being, right? And what is a target code or object code? Object code generally refers to the output or the compiled file which is produced when the source code compiled by the compiler, right? And a compiler is also reports errors in a source program and present in source program. Suppose while writing code, if we make error, then the compiler will report the error, and it does not proceed the compiling process, right? So the next is types of compilers. Uh, Basically, there are many types of compilers. Some are like cross compiler. Cross compiler is a compiler capable of creating executable codes for the platform other than that one on which the compiler is running. For example, uh, a compiler that runs on a PC but generate codes that runs on an Android smartphone. It is a cross compiler, right? The next is single pass compiler. It is a type of compiler that pass through each part of the compiling process only once, right? And the next is multi-pass compiler. Multi-pass compiler is a type of compiler that process the source code multiple times to convert the source code into target code. And the next is a binary compilation. Binary compiler is a type of compiler that uh, take execute binaries as a inputs and analyze their structure, apply transformation, optimization, and produce new output with optimized and executable binaries. Right, and the next is the process of compiling. Basically, there are two parts of compiling process. The first one is analysis phase, and the second one is synthesis phase. Analysis phase breaks the source code or program into small parts and creates an intermediate representation for the source program. Analysis phase is a front end of the compiling process. And the next is synthesis phase. It takes the intermediate representation from the analysis phase for the source program as an input and create a desired target program as an output. It is a backend of the compiling process. Next, the phases of compiler. Mainly, there are six phases of compiler. The first one is lexical analyzer. Lexical analyzer reads the stream of a character and put them together into some meaningful units called tokens. It produces the streams of token for the next phase of the compiler. The next phase is syntax analyzer. It gets the stream of token from the lexical analyzer and determines the structure of the program is correct according to the consent of the source language or not. Then it produces a data structure called parse tree, right? The next phase is semantic analyzer. It gets the parse tree from the syntax analyzer with informations with information about uh, s- uh, mm, syntactical sorry uh, about some syntax elements and does some types of checkings. Basically, it's modify the parse tree in order to get a correct code. The next is intermediate code generator. uh, the intermediate code generator gets the parse tree from the semantic analyzer and generate a program in the intermediate language. The next phase of compiler is code optimizer. A code optimizer is replaced an inefficient sequence of instruction with a better sequence of instruction, which is also called code improvement. And the last is the code generator. In this phase, the code generator take the optimized representation of the intermediate code and map it into a target program or an object code, which is known as the output of the compiling process. The first four phases is the front end of the compiling process, and the last two phases is the back end of the compiling process. Thank you. That's all.